The quote from Adam Peters is to be a gold helmet guy, you have to, quote, be exemplary in performance, leadership, and intelligence. On top of that, you got to fit the culture, right? What's the culture? Toughness, physicality, and just a football freaking player. Can't just be a traits guy. Like, you got to be a football guy. You got to love the freaking sport. Now, we did rush crush players, right? That was the thing. I think we picked 20. The Niners say they do 15 to 20 in every year's draft, and they hope to get one or two. This year they got two. They got two of them. We'll detail those, but we're going to start with the pass players. And I do put a lot of stock in this. I really, really do. Um, the first one that I think is huge, and that's Colton McKivitz. Now, Colton's been on a journey, but if you go back, you got to go back a ways. This is the 2020 year, fresh off the Super Bowl loss, pain. You go into the draft class, you trade DeForest Buckner, pain, right? You trade back a spot. Tristan Wirf's there. You don't take him, you take Kinlaw. So far, that has definitely not panned out, but they had a huge need in trading Buckner. And again, not trying to get into Buckner versus Kinlaw. Remember, it's Buckner, Armstead, Jimmy Ward. I'm sorry, Kinlaw, Jimmy Ward, and Armstead versus Buckner. That was the trade-off. But they didn't, Joe Staley retires, which just sucked, more pain. And they were planning on drafting Colton McKivitz to be the new left tackle for the 49ers, the starting left tackle. But thankfully, the trade with Trent Williams, Shanahan loyalty program, strikes it rich. You get Trent Williams in for a 3rd and 5th rounder. Golly, man, that's just freaking stole that dude. He's been the best offensive lineman in football, bar none, since he's come in 3 straight years, 20, 21, 22, the best there is. About to get him for another year, which I'm excited about. But the thing that was interesting is they were going to take Colton McKivitz with that 3rd round pick the 4th round pick that we had that year. That they were just going to plug him in at left tackle. That's how they saw him. They had a gold helmet grade on him, but they used that pick to trade up, I think, to get Brandon Ayuk. Then they trade Matt Breida. Then they get Colton McKivitz. He steps in, didn't work out great. They ended up cutting Colton McKivitz. But now he's back, and Shanahan and John Lynch have said repeatedly, like, listen, guys, he changed the way he behaved after that point. And I just think that's so important. Here's a quick clip from John Lynch himself talking about and this was pre-draft now. This was right after free agency. This was pre-draft. Listen to him talk about Colton McKivitz and Matt Pryor, because I think that's important as well. Not a gold helmet guy, but he's kind of the safety net of Colton McKivitz.
Yeah, Colton's the guy right now, and we just signed Matt Pryor, who's a guy who's started some games in this league. But we like Colton. We have for a long time, and I think Colton's confidence, that game he filled in for Trent Williams, went in there and did a really good job as a left tackle. He's been a good swing tackle. Colton's a good player, and he'll get a crack at that job, and there'll be a competition. But we're excited about him being able to man that job.
Again, Colton's the guy. There will be a competition. Have we heard this before? Like, it's universal across all positions. I know we want to apply it all the time to the quarterback position, right? Brock's the guy, but there's a competition. Trey Lance and Darnold, right? Like, it's simple. The Niners do this for every position. We have a guy, but there's a competition. We want everything to be so black and white, and this is fact, that's not, this is, whatever. It's not how it works. Nuance, context, all those things matter so much whenever you're trying to break apart these complex issues, right? Like, who's the 49ers quarterback? Well, it's this guy, but he's injured, so therefore this guy, potential draft capital, blah. Like, we always want just, this is the guy. That's not. It doesn't really work that way. Now, with Colton McKivitz, he comes back, and I think people forget. If you go to that game last year, Colton McKivitz played 71 offensive snaps last year. Not a lot. Not a lot. Most of that was in like blowout games. He did come in and play weeks 3-4. So against Denver, Trent gets banged up. He comes in 11 plays for him, plays really well. Gave up one hurry in that Denver game. Then he started left tackle in Los Angeles. Again, you had the what's it called? Trent was battling, trying to play, not play, trying to play, not play. He got 32 snaps week 4 against the Rams and was incredible. He had an 87.3 pass block grade. That's pretty freaking awesome. And 21 snaps pass blocking, 11 run blocking, zero pressures, zero. Like, again, now this is at left tackle. We're going to see him at right tackle, which he's taking some snaps there too. But I went through this morning. I was like, man, I want to go back through that film. And I just picked a couple clips because I was on the NFL Irish show this morning. They haven't released it yet. But I had a really good interview with them. They were doing a 49ers profile piece. And so I jumped on with them for about 30 minutes. If you haven't yet, one, who doesn't want to listen to football being talked about in an Irish freaking accent? And another thing, I was talking with Clayton right before we went live here. Their last two guests were Ian Rappaport and Jeremiah Trotter, NFLPA like guy, and then John Chapman. Right, one of these things is not like the other, but really good show. Go check it out. NFL Irish show. That's what it is. It's like they're catching a lot of steam and they're working directly with the NFL to build the market. Again, we talked about international games. I got a lot of Irish listeners that reach out consistently, and I freaking love them, man. I did say potatoes earlier, so we're sticking with that. Say I'm Irish. Maybe that's why I like steak and potatoes so much. But look, Paul, yeah, right here. The NFL Ireland lads are great. Paul, dude, what's up, man? Speaking of not the devil, Paul's the best there is, man. I really wish we were going to hang out in England this year, Paul, but I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you guys come out to a game this year and we break bread together, brother. Yeah, I'm probably your biggest fan out there in social media. Love what you guys do. Now back to Colton McKivitz. Um, I cut up just two quick plays of him versus Aaron Donald, right? Because I thought this was awesome. So this 2022 week 4 versus the Rams. This is a 1 minute 40-second clip, but this told the story exactly why I think the 49ers put a gold helmet tag on Colton McKivitz all those years ago. Wanted to highlight just a couple plays in 2022, Colton McKivitz versus Aaron Donald. And I mean, again, we're just going to go through these really, really quick. But one of the things that stood out to me was his hand usage and just completely stalemating this guy. Again, remember this whole game, zero pressures allowed. Like, he didn't get the quarterback hit, played really, really well. But watching the game tape, it was clear to see he was frustrating Aaron Donald consistently, especially early. Because this is who Colton McKivitz is. He's somebody that pisses people off. We saw this in West Virginia. He's going to hold on longer. He's going to get up in their space. I'm going to jump forward just 2 plays. Here he is in pass pro against Darnold. And, kind of got his weight thrown off balance, but stayed in spot, got help from Aaron Banks, which is awesome. But my favorite part about all this, and again, this is a gold helmet guy for the 49ers. Look at the extra shove late, and look at Darnold. He's not having it. Like, I love it. Like, pissing this dude off is just like a 49ers specialty. And this is a game that matters so much. And McKivitz, the team having faith in McKivitz is the fact that he made the Rams saw Trent Williams was out, purposefully put Aaron Donald over them, and guess what? No problems whatsoever. And again, the push, you see the bottom of the screen, just like, man, you come at me, I don't know who you think I am. McKivitz ain't going to change who he is, and I don't want him to. I love it. I'm excited about this kid. Another thing I take away from that video is my struggling with Sam Darnold to Aaron Donald. That is very problematic for John Chapman's brain bucket. I don't know why that's so difficult, but it is. But the stock has been put in this guy's play and who he could be. We haven't seen him play a lot. We haven't seen him play a lot. Brian says, giving us hope for the right side. My thing is this, we had Wayne on yesterday, which, man, awesome show. And there's so much weight being put into that offensive line with all the quarterbacks getting hurt, whatever else, McGlinchey leaving. If like if there's one player, not a quarterback, that I could say is going to be a stud this year, like if I could just like guarantee that, not that I'm predicting it, but like okay, I got like a magic wand or whatever. Colton McKivitz would be a pretty damn high up on that list. Drake Jackson would be really, really high on that list, right? The edges of these younger guys that we're just crossing our fingers for, Colton McKivitz, Drake Jackson, you get some quality play from either one of those two, it's gonna be pretty damn. It's gonna be pretty damn good.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.